Yes, people, welcome back to the Catabolic Window podcast. We have some rude behavior from the boys this week. I'm trying to make up from absolutely bottling last week's intro. So we don't really have a plan for this episode aside from just spinning a wheel for some topics and some
random stuff. That is the plan. Spin the wheel, get the topics, right, guys. We're trying to be more structured. Give us feedback. We're always open to feedback. We're going to spin a wheel for a topic idea. Then we're going to spin a wheel for me to rant about something. Then we're going to spin a wheel for another topic idea, assuming it doesn't go too long.
We've got some banging topics. I've got
some banging rants as well, guys. I hope you guys are ready to hear me moan. I'm so ready for it.
You know what? I was just thinking, I've missed doing the podcast with the boys because it's been like a week and a half since we did the last one. And now I remembered why I hate it because you two are just
wait till you see Jack's topic ideas for you, mate.
I'll make that pay.
Write down how your 5 rep has been.
Oh, right. We should give context. Before this meeting, I was talking about how I need to make we were actually bitching about someone, but I'm not going to name names. Where I don't do high reppers because I'm a pussy. I just can't be asked. But next meso, so no one from Future is going to listen to this. Essentially, I'm moving gyms. My membership runs out at mine on like May 14th, and then I go on holiday for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to move to Apollo because their kit's better. The people are nicer. There's more space. There's no hate against Kev, the owner of Future. He's sound. I feel bad that I'm moving. But there's just wankers in Future. Oh, that's the first spell word. But I was talking about how I'm going to make a conscious effort to do higher reppers because I don't do them. I do like 7 to 12 reppers on bicep and my joints are like, eh. So that, yeah. But other than that, how's my week been? Was that the question, Luke? How's my week been?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do my update for last week as well, considering Luke skipped it. Just diving in, asking Matt.
Bro, the podcast was 80 minutes long.
Huh?
The podcast was 80 minutes long. Do you really think we needed our week in there as well?
Yeah, I do think we did, Luke. Right, so what happened? I'd finished uni. I've now done 2 weeks of work. I got offered a job straight out of uni, so that was all right.
What is the job?
I'm a receptionist. I have to do all day talking. Bring. Dan's on the phone.
Bro, what?
Yeah, so I'm basically a glorified receptionist. It's all right, pays the bills, isn't it? And then I've actually had today off because I was meant to be at a festival, but it absolutely pissed it down last night on the way down here. And they called off the first day, which was the shortest day, and it didn't have anyone like amazing. And some of them have moved their sets to like tomorrow, so it's okay. But we've missed that, so I've gone go-karting today instead, and I won, of course. Man's a good driver.
Mate, clearly.
Then we played pool, and my dad beat me because he's better than me. And now we've got Chinese on the way, which is going to arrive halfway through this, but because I was planning to go off plan this whole weekend. Not like stupid off plan, but just like not worry about meals. Just get enough protein in, because there'll be some substances consumed over the festival. Alcohol.
Yep.
So obviously I'm not on plan there. So why bother being on plan everywhere else, So I kind of had it set on being off plan today, and I hadn't eaten because we thought we were going to the festival later on. I didn't eat my normal meal one. I just nailed a bunch of protein. So I was like, I'll get my protein in. I can't take food in there. So then my day was fucked anyway. So we're having a Chinese now. Then we got 2 days of festival tomorrow, and the weather looks all right now, and it is meant to be on tomorrow. So that's my update. Life's going pretty good.
If you got a flat tire, would you slash the other 3 as well?
Luke, I want to have that. Put your fucking 5-head away and shut up. Do you know what, Luke? That story you put up earlier, if anyone does ever, it won't be up now. If you listen to the podcast, you likely have followed the Catabolic Window Insta. Plug that there. Someone replied, I'm going to get it up. Someone replied, he looks like he's about to get on a Harley Davidson or whatever the fuck that motorbike is.
Bro, it was sunny.
He has like aviators on and slick back hair.
It was sunny, bro.
Look at this. Look at the state of that. What is that about?
That's incredible.
Just do your front relax like this, and you'll look like you're on a Harley anyway.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, that's enough of me waffling about wine. What have you guys been up to?
I'm deloading. I'm wrecked.
Well, that's fun.
Wait.
Joints are screaming. Motivation to train is nil, and I'm not progressing. So it sounds like a perfect recipe to me.
That sounds like your normal training, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a Monday, mate.
Your joints are the ones that are mashed up.
Is that your whole update?
I submitted 2 assignments yesterday.
That's better. There we go.
Fair play.
Yeah. One was 13,000 words over. So how I managed to cut that down was absolutely ridiculous.
13,000.
Bruv, what?
Wait,
1,300.
1,300, yeah.
That's still a lot.
You're so
Yeah.
dyslexic, man.
Yeah, no, Luke, some of your posts, I've stopped
Bro,
trying.
it was so funny. It was so funny reading it back because I'd write stuff like they have the option to, and I could have just said can, or just like said 5 words instead of add ing to the end of something.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's what I had to do for my diss. I was so far over.
That's mad.
Right, Jack, what are you saying? How's your week been?
I got sick. Well, I took a deload. I got sick, and then I gave myself food poisoning. But I've had 3 client signups, so you win some, you lose some, you know.
Do you know what I'm saying? My immune system is bulletproof. I don't care what I eat, I'm still fine. I might get, some dodgy digestion, but I'm still fine.
Lucky fucker.
Yeah, is that your whole week then? Is that your update?
I've literally been.
John, how's your week been, mate?
Oh,
wait.
He's not here.
Oh, it's 13 minutes past when we started.
I literally haven't heard from him today. Bless him. He's an elusive.
John's like a. Do you know what? He's like a side character in the sense that he has. Oh God, have you ever watched Ted Lasso? I don't think you will have. Good show. Recommend it. But there's a character in it who's like kind of just a bit like he's there, and he's just a bit mysterious. And then there's an episode where he just kind of buggers off and does his own thing. That's what John is to me in my head.
Yeah,
he's just like
he's a mysterious bloke.
That's how I'd summarize it. Yeah.
To be fair, you did give him about 45 minutes warning of when you were going to be ready. So.
Dan over here being like, can we start 15 minutes early when it was like half an hour until we started? It's madman, bro.
I'm sporadic, people. Listen, my weekend's not going to plan, all right? Oh,
he's stressed.
This guy, man, this guy.
Yeah.
Wait, Jack, this rice that gave you food poisoning, was it just like you left it in the fridge for too long and it's gone off, or was it just like what happened?
No, so I put it in the rice cooker, and then I turned off the rice cooker and I left it at room temperature.
For how long?
For all day.
Bro, I do that every single day.
Mate, same. But like the thing is, there's a chance it can develop bacteria. And we think that like my luck just ran out because I've literally done it like every single day. Sometimes, although I don't know if I did it that time, but sometimes like I won't clean it every day, which definitely makes it worse.
Yeah, definitely. Even I clean it every day, and I'm a lazy bugger.
I clean my air fryer every day.
I don't. I just use oil.
Nah, that's nah. Well, that defeats the point then.
Easy. I'm lazy.
But yeah, so now I just like cook my rice as I need it, or I just put it in the fridge when it's done.
Yeah.
Do you not heat it up then? When you have it?
Nah. Bro.
Oh,
bro. Like you have to realize all my food, I don't care about eating anymore, so I will just go for whatever's easiest.
Sorry, some people
it wouldn't be an issue.
Some people listen to this podcast, yeah, they're gonna know me as back in the day, I had the worst scran imaginable. Now I do not want to hear anyone ever say that about me again. This man blends chicken.
Yeah, bro.
He doesn't heat up his rice.
Yeah,
you ever say I've got bad scran again, you've lost your mind. I mean, I do, but not the worst scran.
When I really bulk, my food turns to shit. But it happens so quickly for me because it was around Christmas time. Like I was infinitely hungry, eating like 4,000 calories, sinking it. Came to Christmas and my weight plateaued and we smashed my calories up and it just ended me. So you need goes to show you need like momentum with these things. You need to kind of just like, stick to it every single day. I think because I let myself go off the rails at Christmas, that fucked me up a bit. But it is what it is.
Yeah, Dan, were you on the podcast when Jack was like mega food focused or not?
Maybe.
Oh,
No.
was
If you say maybe, you weren't, because you'd remember it. Like the stuff this man said about food was ludicrous.
so fucking funny. So fucking funny. Bro,
So good.
I spent too long in a diet phase. I dieted.
Ready? I'm just getting it ready.
Basically,
our AI analyst best pick. They need to give us ad revenue for the podcast.
Right. Are we ready? Or
yeah, fucking spin it.
I mean, I was going to speak, but yeah.
Shut up, Luke. We're spinning the
I've got
wheel.
some banging.
Oh, look at this. This is amazing.
This is sick.
Oh, that's such a dead topic.
It's so laggy. Oh, no.
Nah. Executive decision, respin the wheel.
Why is that in there? That's such a dead topic. You want an hour off of that? How to set up a diet.
Oh, here we go. No. Yeah. So for those of you that are listening, can Luke reach climax without thinking about passive range of motion? Or can we say some of Luke's? Luke, are we saying some penetration is passive range of motion as well? What are we saying? Can we have your lowdown, please?
So, Luke, is you reaching climax?
I think it would be within my active range, I think, but I don't know if it would be within
your active range. Ain't very big, is it, Luke?
That'd be her passive range, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. The only passive range in that activity must be from the receiving party, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So true, mate. So true.
Right,
Jack, have we discussed active and passive range in the podcast before?
Yes, we have. We can go over that again, though.
Oh, it's going to be how to set up your diet again.
Oh,
okay, right. Dan, stop spinning the wheel for 2 seconds, bro. 2 seconds. Okay, well, just right. So, Jack, active passive range, what is it? And then I'll talk about how to work it out.
Yeah, so your active range of motion is a range of motion that you have control over, you can get into without an external force or weight pushing you into it. Passive range of motion is a range of motion that you don't have full access to, but if you used enough force, you could force yourself into that position. For example, if you have crap mobility and you can't squat your ass all the way to the floor, if you put a heavy enough bar on your back, you could probably get pretty deep by forcing yourself into a passive range of motion.
That's where you call injuries.
Yeah, ideally we want to be within our active ROM. If your active ROM is very small, you need to work on it, increasing it over time.
Yeah, I do remember talking about this because the first 2 sentences you said is exactly how you said it before. So yeah, how do you actually work out what your active range is? You want to be performing that exercise because it's going to be slightly different for different exercises based on how it's set up and those sorts of things. So you want to perform that exercise either with no load, if you're in a leg press, literally just bringing your feet down without unracking the platform, anything like that. And then if you're in, say, a hack squat or doing a Smith machine squat or a lunge pattern or something like that, this is all lower body stuff, but the same applies to pressing, so dumbbells, dips, etc. What I would suggest doing is going through sort of part of the range and then seeing, trying to bring, say, your foot up off the platform of the hack squat. If you can bring it up a bit, then you've got a bit more range there. Whereas if you can't get it off the platform at all and it feels actively painful, or it feels painful, then you're probably exceeding your active range there. But over time, you might be able to get a little bit more range as you sort of train towards those end positions. And I'd probably recommend as well, Dan's been loving the pauses in the lengthen recently. And if you do those, if you control that part of the range of motion, you're probably gonna be less likely to get shoved into those breaking parts of the range.
Yeah, it's almost something you can feel. You can feel when it's no longer you moving and instead kind of being forced.
Right.
I got
permission to spin the wheel now, Luke.
I thought you span it and then it came up with a topic, or did you delete
the diet one again? So I got rid of it. That's boring.
Spin it again.
How to set up your diet? Eat less than your maintenance. If you're not losing weight, eat less. Jobs are good. And spin the wheel.
Come on, you'd be such a good coach.
Yeah, eat less.
We'll do that one when John is on.
Yes.
Does Luke's small cock affect his squat leverages? Luke, what's your take on that? Quick one, and I'm spinning the wheel again.
No comment.
It does.
Oh,
Luke's
yes,
cock does affect his squat leverage. Fantastic.
Why are these all targeted at me?
Should you do cardio in a bowl?
Yeah, I think that's a fairly quick one we can cover, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I'll
Dan,
say what
go
yeah,
first.
my perspective is there's a benefit of like if you're assisted, yes. That's what I'm saying.
100%.
As a natty, yeah, that you can argue for it, increase like not lung capacity, but like you can take sets further without running out of breath.
Bit of fitness.
Yeah, like intercept fitness, like yeah, you're probably going to be healthier. I'd argue, this is such bro science, but I reckon you're just going to be a bit more anabolic if you're doing cardio. That's just me in my head. I feel like the more steps you do, the more like cardio you do. Your body's just more of a machine. That's just kind of how I see it. But at the same time, can I personally be bothered? Can I? Fuck, no way. Like, I might do the odd cardio session if it was fun, but I'm not spending half an hour on a bike. But I might go play football once a week. So that's my perspective. But come at it from a more coach perspective.
Luke, you want to go first or me?
I was doing the timestamps and not paying attention to what you said, so you go.
All right, calm. If you're assisted, I'd say almost definitely. If you're someone who takes training fairly seriously, I'd say in an ideal world, we do want to be doing cardio. It keeps you nice and fit. If you're going to be like me and bulk and get fairly fluffy and fairly heavy, you want to make sure that cardio isn't something that holds you back when it comes to your sets. It's good for digestion. It's good for insulin sensitivity. It's not going to hold you back ever. I think the only time it would ever hold you back is if appetite is really low, but then you're probably fairly lean and you're probably fairly insulin sensitive. So unless you're someone who really struggles with appetite, if you're able to, do it. If you're someone who can't eat a lot and struggles to gain weight, then I would say avoid it. But maybe be a bit more attentive to your health, like checking your resting heart rate, checking blood pressure, even if you're natural. Because if you're eating shit constantly and you're not doing any cardio, even if you are natty, it's not ideal.
I will add to that. Be careful having it at the end of your bulk, because if you're going into an aggressive diet and you've already got like 2 sessions of cardio in, that's just more expenditure you can't add later down the line. You're just going to end up with 2 more sessions of cardio at the end of the diet.
Yeah, well, but you're not going to be doing like hours and hours of cardio in those 2 sessions. Like they're going to be fairly short.
Oh, I get, but it's just like a worse starting position for the diet, if you get me. Like maybe
I'm not sure I agree though, because to be in the same surplus, you'd have to eat more food. So like,
yeah, I get you, but
it's going to balance out. You know what I mean? It's personal preference, but I think a lot more people, if you're a bodybuilder, if you're a genuine bodybuilder, more and more people are moving towards having some form of cardio in off season, because it's good to keep cardio as a routine, as a staple. So then when you get to a prep or a diet, it's not like, oh fuck, now I've got to do cardio. It makes things less mentally shit. If you're a bodybuilder, I'd keep it in 100%.
All of my activity is steps. Like I just do like 8 to 10K a day, and that's sound for me.
Oh yeah, steps, of course, 8 to 10.
That's the problem with my new job, man. I'm just sat at a desk all day, 4K steps a day. It's a nightmare.
Zoinks, mate.
You just don't want it bad enough. Can I pick a topic? One on the list looks good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Tick the ones we've done. I'll stop the screen share.
All right.
Okay, right. I was going to say topic choice, what we don't like in bodybuilding.
Oh.
Yeah, what did you mean by that? What is that just like what we don't like about it?
Just anything, like the industry.
Like culture, I suppose, yeah.
Anything, man. Interpret it however you want. It's just to create conversation.
This could turn into a down rant. Well, let me have a think.
Where the fuck is the cardio in off season or cardio in a bulk one?
I don't know. Right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So for the listeners that didn't see my story yesterday, I had some all-knowing geezer on TikTok basically tell me that I can't use cables because Dorian didn't use cables,
Although he did.
except you know, all of the machines that Dorian used, they have cables in. That's how gravity is like redirected. So my guy's a moron. And then I looked at his training and it's like atrocious. But the thing that I don't like is this whole you have to do it how the olden days people did it. Like every single exercise in the book is made up. Somebody made it up at some point. At some point, there was a guy that was like, "Why are you inventing barbells? These stones are absolutely fine. Just keep lifting stones, mate."
We spoke about this before, haven't we?
Yeah,
About
like
people
just,
hating on optimal.
it's just ludicrous. Like you wouldn't use a phone that's 30 years old. Like, why can you not accept that training's advanced a little bit? It's just people that get so emotionally attached to what they're doing that they can't.
Mate, Dorian would have done some shit that people would have been like, bodybuilders didn't do this back in the day. And he would have been like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what era you're in, someone's going to be like, this isn't how it was done before. Well, we're not in the bronze era of bodybuilding anymore. Like, you know?
Well, before like Mike Mentzer and Dorian and like they were big proponents of like low volume, high intensity. Everyone was just following like the Weider principles of training,
Yeah.
which was a lot more volume, short rest periods. So everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
how bodybuilders train.
And now people look back at it. People like to look back, but they don't want to go too far back. They don't want to go too recent. They cherry pick when they want to go back. You want to do it like the good old days, like Dorian. It's like, yeah, well, what about Arnold? Oh, Arnold had a good physique, but he didn't know it was on about. Okay, well, what about Phil Heath? Yeah, it's, I don't know. You know, like people.
Yeah, that's what this guy said. He goes, name a good bodybuilder that's used cables and machines. So I said, I've heard of Phil Heath.
Yeah. Did he respond to that? Yeah, of course he didn't. Like, because people cherry pick. Like, this is the thing, you know?
This is such a broad topic, by the way, because I could say so much I hate about the bodybuilding industry.
Give us a couple then.
Right. I've mentioned something about training. What, excluding training, what don't you like about the bodybuilding industry?
People using it for attention seekers on their story. That's been doing my head in recently.
True.
Just like, I felt this rep. There's one person that comes to mind, and some people will know who it is straight away.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about, yeah. Does my Sweden stop moaning? Jesus. Like if something bad happens to me, like I'll just be like, well, this happened, and I'll moan about it in person or whatever. But my story, like my hack this week was 4 + 1 this week. It was 5 last week. You don't see me crying, oh, I'm a rep down or whatever. Like, grow up. Right, that's mine. Otherwise, it'll turn into a damn rant.
I think people people glamorizing the lifestyle and starting to get into bodybuilding again, kind of like for clout, or getting into a prep or wanting to do a show for clout and not quite grasping the full gravity of what they're doing. And it's okay to just be like, I want to build a bit of muscle and I want to train a bit. Like, you don't have to be a bodybuilder, you know?
Yeah. Hobby builder.
Exactly, mate.
Should we do a damn rants now?
All right, then.
Oh, God, right. Here comes the screen share again. Here we go.
I don't know how this is going to work. Like when the screen share shows up, if that makes sense. Like if they're still going to be able to see us, or
well, that's my economics exam right there. Hang on. Oh God. Oh, keep chatting. I've kind of mucked the screen share up. I need it to be that one. Right. Okay. Never mind, guys.
Nah, you shared the right one.
No. That was the topic one. This is the Dan Rants one.
Oh.
You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Oh, these are so good.
This is sick.
Oh yeah, I kind of like this one. God, right. It says loads of breathing at the start of a rep, aka like the long first third of the eccentric. Yeah, I put concentric there because I'm a melt, but right. This is like essentially, you know how people moan about people doing rest pause sets when they pause age at the top of a rep. Yeah. Let's take a pendulum for example. When you do Like, say your eccentric is 5 seconds, yeah, you've got this long eccentric on paper, but your first 4 seconds, or like first 3 seconds of that first third of the movement, and you're huffing and puffing, getting like 4 breaths in, and then like you, whether or not you drop into the hole and don't control that range, say you even control that range, but if your eccentric's getting longer, but you're spending longer and longer in that first third, in my opinion, that's the same as just resting at the top. Your quads aren't really going to struggle on that first part of the pendulum, really. It's where you're strongest in that movement. Like, people that are like taking so many breaths there just to get another rep, it's just like waiting at the top. It does my head in. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, especially when they, like I said, when they take longer and longer throughout the set to do that. At the start, it's pretty continuous. And then they're taking loads and loads of breath, and they're like, oh, it's fine, bro. I'm still doing an eccentric. I'm not resting at the top. Any thoughts?
I completely get what you're saying. It kind of goes back to what we were saying about like cardio earlier. That may be one use for it, so that you are feeling a bit fitter for those sets. Like, especially something like a pendulum, you're going for a pretty large excursion, and if you're reasonably controlling that, it's going to be a fairly long set. Like, even for me to do like 8-10 reps, it's like a minute.
Yeah, I'm not saying in the sense that like it's someone's cardio given out, but it's like people that are so desperate to beat the logbook. Like, where the hell is standardization there? Like, where the hell is it? Like, if you have a 3-second eccentric that's consistent throughout, like, maybe fair enough, back end of a set, you know, take a breath at the top. That's fine in my book. Maybe even 2 for a last rep. But when you're taking like 4 breaths and like the eccentric is getting longer and longer, and it's in that first portion, like, you're not standardized. You're literally doing it to beat the logbook. And like, oh, it just does my head in, man. I'd never ever do that, no matter how desperate I was for a next rep.
You're manipulating things to give yourself an advantage. Like, if you were doing that the whole set, then like fine. But because that's then how the whole works.
Yeah, like you're saying, if you're doing like a 4-second first third of eccentric, the whole set, like, it's granted it's not great, but it's better than slowing down your eccentrics later in like the set. I still wouldn't do it. But like, what happens when you come around next week? You've got to beat that number again. If you're that desperate to beat the logbook, you're going to be that desperate to beat it again the next week. And you're going to have even longer and longer. Or you're going to have a really bad set and throw your toys out the pram. Like, what are you doing? Have a nice controlled eccentric, pause if you want, keep it as continuous as you can. Jobs are good. And like, it's not that hard. But I'm not going to name names here because there's a few people I like that do this. And I would say something to them, but they're bigger than me. So I'm not going to say something to them. But I know there's one person I can think of that does it. He's a very naughty boy for doing it. I'm not going to name his name.
I want to know now.
I'll tell you
Jack,
after the podcast.
Thoughts?
I'm going to come at it from a slightly different angle. Not that I disagree, but I think that there's
none of the angles.
Yeah, actually, I completely disagree, mate. I rest between every single rep. I love a rest pause. No, you have to an extent, allow some level of deviation. And I think like what you're talking about, Dan, is people taking the piss, and you can't expect to be absolutely perfect each week. And it's always going to be a little bit of a question of, am I breaking my standardization? Or am I just kind of being cardio limited, or is there something else holding me back? So I think it's not just about kind of keeping things as identical as they were last week. It's maybe allowing a little bit of variance, but being honest with yourself. Like Dan talking about taking a 4+1 instead of a 5. It's like you're allowing a little bit of maybe an extra rep, or like I know Luke, when you've talked about doing continuous reps on a hack squat, you might pause and then take an additional rep. So I think sometimes it's okay to be like, I'll take, however many continuous or similar eccentrics, and then I'll allow myself a kind of, how would you put it, like an extended eccentric for an extra rep, if that makes sense. So it all depends on how you do it. But like Dan said, if you start out your training plan saying, I am not going to be allowing this, I'm going to have every rep look identical start to finish except for the concentric speed, then you need to honor that as you go deeper. It's just a case of finding what works for you, I'd say.
I think there's also like you also get people that do like more inexperienced people, but I see it in experienced people as well, that towards the end of a set they'll speed up their eccentric. Like it goes the other way as well to again beat the logbook. But just as a rule of thumb, just keep all your eccentrics the same.
I've seen people slow it down so that they fail, like because they don't want an extra rep. You know what I mean?
I've definitely done that when I was like newer to training, where I just
Yeah,
made the rep look harder than it was. But when you look at the video back, especially if you're posting online, people can you can see straight through it. If you're posting set, the amount of sets I see that people are posting making some excuse, and like you just look at it and you're like, well, that's just a blatant.
admit you bottled it, you know, like it's fine.
Like if I bottle a set, I'm putting I bottled this set.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm owning up to it and just make it better next week. There's nothing you can do about it. It's done now.
I've over months of training, there will be multiple occasions on my like logbook where I'll be like, you bottled this, fucking fix it. Like just hold yourself accountable. You know, be like, this was rushed, this was crap, this was good, this was sick, this was great, but also, you know, this, you bottled this was too fast, whatever. Just hold yourself accountable. Just be honest, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you sort of change the speed that you are moving things, it changes the forces you're dealing with. Like if you move faster, then it's different to if you literally Jack's making I hate you. And then you're just bouncing like out the bottom again to change how difficult it is. Like going back to what you were saying previously, Jack, your technique needs to be good. And this is something that I picked up from Dr. Mike at like a seminar I was at last year. But it needs to be good enough that it survives hard training. Because if it doesn't survive hard training, then it's pointless. Like there's no reason to make stuff look like an exercise demonstration, because you're not going to be getting as much out of that as you could if you trained with intensity. Like it's you're missing something to the formula if you don't train with intensity but have incredible technique, or if you train balls to the walls intensity but also train like a muppet.
Yeah, I think Jack, you said something pretty like something that like resonates with me. Write in your logbook. Like, your logbook's not just for your numbers. Write in there that you've done a good, like if it's a great set,
say
right
it.
in there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
equally, like I use an online logbook, just like a coaching sheet sort of thing. On the next week, when I'll write in where that set will go, so by the time I get around to that set, it'll be there. I'll write like better pause is needed, or this needs to be improved, or you know, something along those lines, or take load increase if I know it's there, or something like that in the session. Because by the time that comes around next week, I won't remember that, if you get me. But there's things I'm guilty of. Like I'm not saying I'm perfect bringing this up or ranting about it. Like I pause pretty much everything in the lengthen. At the start, they were pretty like bang on, like actually down there for a second in a pause. Now a lot of them aren't like that anymore, and that's okay. But they are now moving forward like that. I've made an effort to not like just have like a micro pause is what I want. I don't need an anal like 1 second there or something, because it's hard to standardize. Which is what,
Stopwatch it, bro. Like a
yeah. Oh god, that's another rant when people do 2 seconds in the hole and they start the 2 seconds when they're not in the hole yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just like we said, try and keep it standardized, rep to rep, week to week, and then go from there.
valid.
Facts. Just
Right.
like put context to your numbers. Don't just be like, here's the number, here's the number. Like give yourself feedback, good and bad, not just bad. Be nice to yourself as well. Be like, that was sick, you're a weapon, do it again.
Yeah, right. I have spun the wheel for the next topic, and it has landed on an absolute banger.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Thoughts on alcohol and its place in bodybuilding?
I fucking saw you add this to the thing today, I swear.
No, we had alcohol and bodybuilding. I just reworded it.
Oh, fun.
I quite like this topic, and it's quite fitting considering I'm going to festival this weekend.
I feel like it's been covered a lot, but we can cover it. Sure. Who wants? Anyone want to go first? Dan, do you want to? Since you've.
Sure, I'll come at it from like the way I do it, and then you guys come at it from like the catabolic side of alcohol, if you get me. So my sort of policy, like through uni, it's quite a tough thing. But my policy has always been sort of once a fortnight, I'll allow myself to drink. I won't go for these pointless 1 pints. I just don't see the point. If I'm drinking, it's probably not healthy. I'm getting obliterated more than likely. Like yeah, if I'm doing it, I'm off plan. Like it'll be my off plan for the week if I drink, and like I'll drink once a fortnight. I'm not fussed if it's once every 3 weeks, once every month, but like at a maximum, like it should average at once a fortnight, if you get me. Because at the end of the day, when you have it, like it throws off so much, like your digestion goes, you got to move training around to suit that occasion. You're gonna feel like crap the next day. Like your what was it ruin your muscle protein synthesis, something like that. Like it's absolutely terrible for pretty much everything to your body. You're lethargic the next day. You won't want to get up and do your steps. You won't want to do whatever. So really, there's not really a place for it in bodybuilding, but in your off season, don't just cut it out of your life. Although saying that, I did see two people, not going to name names, that are both on prep, go away for holiday and start nailing a bunch of drinks, but I'm not going to name them.
No way.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
I can't name names, but
tell us after.
Luke knows them.
Our viewers must be so pissed off every time we're like, "Oh, spill it after the episode, mate."
If you're listening and if you DM me, I'll tell you.
That's so jokes. Go on, Luke.
The amount to which that I would include alcohol is to the extent that you're getting most of the enjoyment out of it without all of the sacrifices to your bodybuilding. Like if you enjoy the odd drink, then that's going to be much better than going off the deep end because you think that bodybuilding is stopping you doing everything that you enjoy and then just stopping training altogether.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's always a case of like weighing things up, and ultimately, as long as like it's just a game of ticking boxes, right? Are you moving towards your goal for this week, for this month, for this year? And are you sacrificing anything in your life towards that? If you can't just say yes or no, and it's a bit of a spectrum answer, are you happy with where you lie on that spectrum? Are you happy with the steps that are being made towards your goal? Are you happy with the trade-offs being taken away from your personal life? You know, I don't really give clients guidelines on how frequently to drink. I'd say if you're gonna have a heavy night, take it as an untracked meal. I don't call them off plans anymore because I'm so cool like that. Because it's just an untracked meal. It's not off plan, you know, it's still on plan. But if you're gonna have it as like you know, a tracked meal, or you just want to kind of mitigate damage, then just have like spirits and diet mixers. But you know, as long as like if you're in a whatever you're doing, as long as body weight's heading in the right direction, as long as your lifts are increasing, and as long as you're happy with what you've done that week, then cool, you know, we're happy.
Or just spew it all up on the night and you'll be sound.
Yeah, don't train the day after.
Bulimia here. I'm not promoting that. But last time I drank, I had a tactical chunder, so it wasn't for the calories. It was for my sanity of the night.
Yeah, I don't know about tacky chunders. I don't know if we can endorse that. Don't train the day after. Just do not train the day after. If there's anything you take away from drinking and bodybuilding, don't train the day after. It's just not worth it. You're not going to gain anything.
Yeah, I've done it before and it hasn't gone too badly, but you just won't want to be there either.
Yeah, but you could have got more out of it if you'd have pushed it back.
Yeah, but sometimes I want to keep my split on like how it is. Just when I was at uni,
just miss a day, man. Honestly, it's not that deep, you know, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair. Luke, any thoughts? Any thoughts on alcohol and bodybuilding?
Luke has no thoughts.
You're going to talk about your night out, Luke?
We've already covered that on a podcast.
Oh,
I still haven't been out again.
It's worth it.
Pardon?
I said, if a listener is listening, wants to find that story, go delve through. It is worth it. Listen to that story.
I swear it's in the description, like Luke's birthday night out or something like that. It will be It will be early December. It might have been the first episode we had Dan on, actually.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah, it was because you exposed me.
Oh, it was so funny seeing you.
Oh yeah, no, I think that was that episode.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
Right.
That a good place to wrap it, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a crap episode, to be honest.
Whoa, I think this episode's been sick.
Really?
Well, let's get feedback.
Okay.
You always say it's a shit episode, and then we get like a million DMs because we're so cool.
1 million DMs. Yeah.
We do.
We get like 10 million views as well.
We
Yeah.
had fucking what's it? Ben Francis sent us a DM saying that he wants to do Gymshark X Catabolic Window, but we have turned him down, just because we didn't really want to debase our brand like that.
I don't want to associate it with such
Exactly, man.
Joking.
Gymshark have gone in a bit of a weird direction now. Haven't they?
Personally, no hate on it's not the body positivity stuff. I just don't rate the brand. Like, good for Ben Francis. You just wouldn't catch me wearing Gymshark anymore ever.
I'd wear the stuff that I've got, but I wouldn't buy any new stuff.
Yeah. Well, I have 2 t-shirts. That's a lie, but just because I think they look cool. But I just don't rate the brand itself. I'm just like, it's just a bit too mainstream. This is no hate to do this.
We're bodybuilders, mate. Don't fuck around with that shit.
But I just feel like people that wear Gymshark are people that don't go to the gym but just want to look like they go to the gym. Does that make sense? When people just put it on this is gonna sound so bad, but I have like a distinct image of females doing it, putting on their matching sets and then taking a photo in the gym, going, "I go gym," but they don't. If they want to wear that and go to the gym and feel confident, by all means, go and do it. But don't. It's the same that guys wear them Gymshark stringers and take a photo and then piss off after doing 1 set of bicep curls.
Only 1 set. Oh, it's arm day, bro.
Yeah, probably like 6 sets in a row.
Mike Mensa, mate. 1 set's all you need, bro. Mike Mensa, bro. 1 set is all you need. What?
Yeah. Jack, listen to the podcast that Scott Stevenson did on Think Big. Like, they were reacting to Mike Mensa's training principles. It's actually so good.
What, were they hating on it, or were they like, this is sick?
Just listen, Dr. Scott, bro. Listen to everything he says.
Right. I see a lot. I'm going to quickly put this in. I see a lot of people talking about, 1 set mentality. And then, first off, what is a set? When does a set end? It's quite arbitrary. A set ends when you decide it ends. And you'll see these people that 1 set mentality, and it's like an extended rest pause set. And there's several breaks and gaps, and it's like a drop set, superset. And I'm like, at this point, this is 5 sets just with a really short rest period. So what you're doing isn't really low volume. If 1 set takes you 20 minutes to do, is it actually low volume training? You're just calling it 1 set because it sounds nice in your head. Anyway, that's all I've got to say.
That's fair. That's a Jack
Brown. I don't like 1 set, if I'm honest. I don't like warming all the way up just to do 1 working set.
Yeah, no,
it just feels like a waste of time, and I don't think that first set that you do is ever the best one, because you're still properly getting into the groove of the exercise.
Yeah, I'll say I'd love my leg session to be I think the volume that I'd need is actually 1 set of hack and then 1 set of leg press. I feel like I'd do better off that, but I refuse to do that. I'm going to do 2 sets of hack and then I'll let myself do 1 set of leg press, and a higher rep of that. That's one of the things I'm going to try and make an effort to do higher rep on, is a leg press.
If you're going to do 1 set of hack, you could do that as a really high repper.
Well, no way. Absolutely not.
No, that sounds kind of
I don't do cardio in my off season, bro. There's no way I'd do
1 set of 15 to 20. That sounds kind of fun,
No.
Because it'd just be hell on earth, and then you're done. Right at the end of your session, of 15 to 20, and then you're done. Paused in the lengthen for a second. 3-second eccentric. That's pure cardio. But still, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
I used to have 15 to 20s on the hack, and they were horrific.
I did when I was my old knee injury, when I was coming back from that. Yeah, 15 to 20.
Old knee.
It's the same. Before I injured it again this time.
It's the same tendonitis. I stopped working on my
physio. This is why he never posts his legs, guys.
I stopped working on my physio, and then I reintroduced leg training on my own. I fucked myself up because I didn't. When you do something and you look back at it and you're like, why have I done that? That makes no sense at all. I can't program myself for shit because I just don't try. I cannot program myself at all. Also, I can't believe that guy in my fucking comments replied to Luke talking to me, being like, you skip leg day, don't you, Jack? Fuck off. No, I don't.
I didn't see that.
I don't train in quads and I still don't skip leg day.
That's hilarious.
I was fuming, bro. I put that picture of my quads on my story. I tried to DM it to the guy, but he didn't have receiving messages on. So I was like, fuck. this kid's just rinsed me and it's ruined my day.
Right, wrap the podcast up.
Yeah, wrap the poddy. Nice to speak to you all. You know what, guys? No one's made it this far, realistically. But give us feedback on the spin wheel idea. I think it's staying for Dan rants. But maybe topics. Do you guys want us to come with prepared topics rather than spin wheel? I feel like that may be better.
If you're still listening, Dan will give you a $5.
Yeah, I think if you've got like a specific topic that we want to talk about, that'd be a good plan. But if we're not really sure, then we can.
We've wrapped this up at the perfect time. The Chinese has just arrived.
Oh yeah, go on then. Enjoy the Chinese.
Yeah,
right. Thank you everybody for listening. I was going to say follow us on Instagram, but if you're listening, you probably already follow us on Instagram. So legends, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is all. Dan's going to scrounge his Chinese. He's going to get extra fat this weekend. And
Well, to be fair, I've had about 1,000 calories today, in fairness. So I've got about 2.5K to play with.
What was the Chinese order?
Right, we've got we've got the, you know, when you get the mixed starters.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, we've got prawn crackers. We have special fried rice. We've gone. This is between two people. We've gone. What's that? Is that black bean?
I don't know what else.
Oh, that might have been with the starters.
Yeah,
we went. What do you fucking get? Oh, chicken balls.
Stop again.
She's got, yeah, speed it up. Just do it 2 times. What
Oh my days.
Black bean, mixed starter, rice, chicken balls, salt and pepper chips. Bosh, done.
Yay, done
That took so much longer than it needed to.
so long.
Thank you, everyone.
Longer than it needs to be.
I've got a grey hair.
Right, boys, it's been a pleasure. Let's end this podcast. I'm hungry.